Hello, my friends. Welcome to another rousing edition and episode of Bobby's Podcast with my special guest, Megan, on the radio. There she is. She is an icon. She's a legend. She's one of the best singers that I've heard on my podcast. Better than me, in fact.
Oh, crap.
Megan, welcome.
Oh,
welcome to the podcast.
You are very sweet. Thank you.
So, Megan is a well-known radio personality. You are a syndicated radio host. You sound phenomenal on the radio. We got a chance to work briefly together. But what's funny is we never really crossed paths. And I just love getting to sit here and sit in this forum and talk pop culture and just really fun topics with you.
Yeah, this is a blast. Thank you so much for having me on.
It's like having our own little radio show. I think we make a great radio duo or something like that.
Hello, Pop Radio. Let's do this.
Something to think about. And we would do Megan and Bobby on the radio or something like that. I don't know. We'd come up with something really fun. So I brought this topic up because I thought this would be fun to talk about. Are you a flyer at all or a traveler?
Yeah. I prefer driving because I like to be in control, but I mean,
okay.
And my ears pop. But, you know, it being a military wife and living all over the country, if you want to get somewhere the fastest, you got to fly.
Okay. So you're familiar.
Right now, it's a 2-day drive to my parents' house.
How long of a drive?
2 days.
Ooh, yeah, you want to fly for sure on that one. That's a lot, especially with the baby and all that stuff. I know.
We do it every Christmas. We drive because my husband's a hunter, and we got to take a U-Haul with a husky and a 3-year-old.
Wow. Okay, so you got the whole like package and like it's like Little House on the Prairie, but the current version of it.
Urban.
So they came up with this topic, and I thought this was funny because I want to know if you've encountered any of these personalities. It's a personality profile, the 10 types of plane passengers that you might find on flights. And we'll just go through the labels that they have. Number 1 is the talk show host. So this person is known as chatty, engaging, relentless in conversation. They just kind of don't shut up. Have you ever been next to a talk show host?
I am a talk show host.
I was going to say.
But not on an airplane. I don't want to talk to anybody.
Me either. I'm kind of like...
It's like my quiet time. I think I am an extroverted introvert, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. I feel like I fall into the same profile.
Because it's like I love to entertain and do my thing, but then there's my time where I don't want to... And airplanes are the time where I just want to read my book, drink my coffee, and ignore everybody. And
for me, that makes the plane experience so much better is noise-canceling AirPods. I love to put in my music. It drowns out the sound of the plane because that's pretty loud and, you know, people, whatever, and I could just hear my tunes, and it just, I vibe out. I love it. I love it. Number 2, the barefoot wanderer. This person is relaxed, carefree, and unapologetic.
It wants to be barefoot on an airplane. Those things are gross.
Can I tell you?
Don't tell me they fully clean those things between flights. Hell no.
Can I tell you? So my old co-host Woody Power, shout out to him from Peak FM, current midday host. He used to take off his socks on flights because he was nervous. What? Yes, I kid you not. And we talked about it one.
That doesn't make sense. Why would you take off your socks if you're nervous?
I don't know. I think he felt grounded to the plane or something, or he would sweat too much. I don't know what the issue was, but when we talked about it, I remember being in total disgust. And I'm like, you can't do that on a plane because people are going to be disgusted by your bare feet just on the plane. Like you can't do that.
I have really ugly feet, so I try to. I'm missing my big toenails. I had them removed because of ingrown toenails, so I don't have.
Okay, well, keep the socks on. You be safe.
I don't have to be barefoot. I'm not going barefoot.
I love that.
Because they're really strange.
As a rule of thumb, don't do that to another person on the plane. I just think that's
even if you have big toenails, don't do it. Don't.
This one to me is a little bit diabolical. It's the territorial traveler. So they're a personality who's assertive, competitive, and strategic. Like typically they like to put their bags right above their seats. They're calculated about when to get up and like, you know, who they're kind of like sitting in front of. They're territorial about their space. Have you ever come across somebody who's that intense?
Not that intense, no.
Okay.
I feel about my space on a flight, but then again, I don't care. I'm just there.
Yeah. My thing is, why does everybody get up as soon as the plane like lands and parks? It's going to be a minimum of 15 minutes. Why did they do that?
I do that sometimes, and I get up and I'm like, Megan, you're on the back.
I do it too, but it's just because I want to get up and stretch, you know? So I don't know.
I just want to make a run for it and see if there's going to be open.
There you go. This is an interesting one, and this one's kind of a topic which we can get into a little bit. The lazy parent. We both have kids. We've flown with babies. I've flown with babies with kids. These people, these lazy parents is what they're calling, are typically laid back, nonchalant, hands off. Kid is probably kind of doing whatever. poking
Yeah.
somebody's seat, making some noise, whatever. Have you ever come across a lazy parent on a flight?
Oh yeah, and I
Yeah.
try not to be that person. I try to be respectful because again, I have a
Absolutely.
toddler.
Yeah.
So
And
I try to keep him contained and entertained and pray that he goes to sleep just because I don't want to be that person.
I also give a lot of grace, and maybe this is just the dad in me, but I give a lot of grace to people that do that because it is difficult. But if you're just flat out letting
I
your
think
kids
you have
scream,
one, it's easier, but you have two. And
I
then I'm like,
do.
okay, game's over. Like, how do you, I don't see how people have two kids. One's like, oh my God.
Yeah. Well,
Multiple kids? How the hell? How do y'all do that?
when they were babies, it was quite. It's just a lot. But they're now 10 and the other one just turned 13, so they're actually pretty good. Like they good with their AirPods and their phones and music, and they download the movies and the games and all that stuff, so it's kind of nice in that little sweet spot now.
Yeah.
So I love that. The next personality that you might come across when you're on a flight is the performance parent. That's a person who's proud, outgoing, and showy. Like, Caleb, we use our hands. Keep your hands to yourself. Bethany, no, feet off. They're kind of like loud about it.
Yeah.
So have you ever heard that before?
Yes, that one. And then I just feel bad about myself as a parent because I'm like, well, I suck.
To me, those parents are annoying. I almost give more grace to the lazy parent because at least they're at least quiet.
Have a cookie. It's not organic. Get over yourself. You'll be fine.
Have you ever sat next to or have seen on a plane the never-ending grazer? This person is considered to be well-prepared, self-sufficient, and always snacking on something.
I know, but then I want their snacks. And I know I should.
Yeah, I can get that one. Do you travel with snacks? Because you can't bring them across the check-in security line, so you have to buy them.
No, because they give you the Biscoff biscuits, and those are badass.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
Yeah, I like the Biscoff biscuits. So I wait till they give me those. It's always a guarantee.
I've sat next to a few of these people, and I think I might be a good person to be on a flight next to this person, unless they're like physically touching me, but they're considered the nervous wreck. So this person's anxious, tense, fearful during the flight, typically have a fear of flying. And I used to be so deathly afraid of flying, and I don't know what's happened to me. I think I'm aging in reverse because as I've gotten older, I'm 44 now. I'm just like, hey, let's go. Like, is the plane staying up in the air? Is it going down? Who cares? We're just gonna have a good time, baby.
Like if I die, I die.
But yeah, I've had a lady before grab my hand, and I was like, it's okay. I was like, listen, this is turbulence. We were flying back into Denver, and if you've ever flown into Denver, which I'm sure you have, it's quite bumpy. It's always bumpy.
It's always bumpy. I think I've just flown so much.
Yeah,
that
you're just kind of used to it.
I mean, I was a kid. I was like 2 my first flight or something, so I'm just used to it. It's not. Yeah. I'm not that. The only thing I get nervous on is roller coasters for some reason.
Oh, see,
I'm fine.
give them to me. I used to be so afraid as a kid and even as a teenager and a young 20-something, and now I'm like, the higher the better, the faster the better. Let's go. I love them all.
I'll ride a horse that could just flip over and kill me, but roller coasters, no.
It's the thought of it. The next personality profile is the flying bladder. This person frequently needs to go to the restroom.
That's me.
Is that you? Okay.
All the time, and it drives everybody nuts. I have stage 4 endometriosis, and then had a kid, so it makes me always have to pee.
So you have to go.
Everybody makes fun of me, and my husband hates road tripping with me because it's like every hour I'm like, gotta pee.
Yeah.
And on flights it's really bad because I have to climb over everybody, and that I am that person. I am the bladder bitch. And there's nothing I hate it because everybody's like, well, like it's a physical condition. I can't control it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Out of my way, I'm peeing.
That's right. And you've got it, and you're allowed to. That's your prerogative.
I should just probably wear Depends on a flight. I'm in my 40s. I can get away with that now, right?
You know what's funny is I was at Target the other day, and I was walking by the Depends aisle because I was waiting in line for my prescription. So I was looking at all the things. They've got all the things that people use for their personal items, and Depends is one of them. And the guy, I kid you not, looked like he was my age, probably my body shape and size, and he was flat out wearing Depends, and I'm like, who are they trying to market this to? This is crazy.
I mean, as somebody who has to pee like 24/7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're there for a reason. The next personality is the ear splitter. This person enjoys loud media to drown out their surroundings, and they typically don't wear headphones, so they're just kind of playing their movies or their music or media out loud. Is that annoying to you?
To me, yeah.
Yeah. I think you should be.
Like, if I'm on, I'd rather just read a book. But
Is there any?
To yourself.
Is there any books that you're reading right now?
Right now, yes. It's a new book called The Wedding People, and it's really, really good. I just got it last week. I can't even remember the author. It's a new author, but
Okay.
The last book I read that was really good was Leanne Moriarty. Here One Moment. Highly suggest that one.
Okay.
So.
I'm into the Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins right now.
Okay.
So
you're a fellow reader? Me too. That's like my...
I'm not a reader. My sister put me onto this one because it's like full of psychology, self-help stuff. So, you know what? I have ADHD, so I have to read it in chunks.
Got it. No, I'm a huge reader ever since I was like able to read it too. That's it. I've been a big reader.
And rounding out the personality profile of the 10 types of plane passengers that you might find on flights is the sleep fanatic. This person seeks uninterrupted rest, well equipped to avoid disturbances. So do you know the person that comes with the mask, the ear things and all that stuff?
Yeah, I have the little like thing for your neck. And if I can sleep, because I'm a terrible sleeper, anytime I can grab sleep, I'm going to try and do it.
Yeah. And it's hard. For me, it's personally hard to sleep on a plane. I just can't do that, but I like listening to music.
Yeah, I'm a sleeper, and then I have to pee. Like as soon as I start falling asleep, then I'm like, shit, I gotta
you gotta get up.
Then I gotta crawl over 3 people for the second time in my hour flight.
Yeah. I remember being on a plane. This was a few years ago. It was probably a decade ago now at this point. But I had just got back from visiting a friend. Sadly, her mother passed away. She was like my second mother. So I was in my feelings. It was just a really intense trip. And I was put on this one row, and the guy was all the way to the window, and they were trying to fill me in because I don't know what, I was like a last minute person or something like that. So they fit me in on the edge of the row. So there was like a seat between us. And I'll never forget this guy. He was from New York. He's like, great. Looks like I'm not getting any sleep on this flight. And a part of me was like, I was so mentally and emotionally exhausted that I didn't have the capacity to cuss him out. But looking back at it now, he was so insensitive, but he was all about his sleep. And I was like, okay, whatever. It is what it is.
As a mother and not a great sleeper, I get it. Sleep is important.
It is. I totally agree with that. So those are 10 types of personalities that you might find on a plane. And I just want to thank Megan once again for being my Popcast guest, because this has just been so much fun talking with you.
I love it.
And you're just a great personality. You obviously are a phenomenal radio talent. Everybody can find you at meganontheradio.com, and you can follow her socials from there. I personally follow her TikTok. I follow her Facebook page, her Instagram. I'm kind of like a fan as well.
Thank you. I'm a fan of you too.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So that's where everybody can find you. You can also find me at Bobby's Popcast. I'm on all major streaming platforms like Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, all the things. Megan, do you have any words of wisdom before we go out with this podcast episode?
Don't make fun of people who have to pee all the time.
And if you're in Target, go ahead and just get the Depends. They're right there.
I think I might. I mean, do they make them in pretty colors? I'm going to have to Google that.
The ones that the guys were wearing, the ones that the guys were wearing were just like matte gray. So I don't know what that's about.
What a good idea.
So there you go. There you go.
Glitter Depends.
You came up with a good business idea, I think.
Good. All right. I'm the next billionaire. Watch out.
There you go. There you go. You heard it first from Megan. meganontheradio.com. Once again, thank you so much for being on the podcast. You were awesome. And I can't wait to see what else you do next.
Well, likewise. Thank you.
Thank you for watching another episode of Bobby's Popcast.